Hello, my witchy brothers and sisters. It's Denise, and please forgive the PJs and oh dear God, you look like you haven't slept. It's because I haven't slept. Yeah, last night, couldn't sleep. Woke up at 2, couldn't get to sleep, finally did. Only slept about 2 hours, woke up around 2 a.m. and could not get back to sleep. Spent half of today trying to nap, kind of not successfully. Spent hours trying to get my YouTube videos to upload, and they would not. Hours of my life that I will never get back. Now, if you've seen my prior videos on this channel, you generally have the background of me with just my headboard and my Hogwarts picture behind me, and not the visual clutter that is the reorganizing of my bedroom, which is certainly not very photogenic. And I can appreciate that it isn't, and that's why I don't generally like to show it. But I feel like, for some reason, videos I'm shooting with my iPhone, YouTube is just not letting me upload. And I would much rather count on you to be forgiving of the fact that my hair is doing strange things, but that's not what I was going to say. Okay, forgiving of the fact that, this isn't my usual camera setup that I've been doing, and it's late at night, and I don't have makeup on, and I'm tired, but I feel like I did 2 long reviews on my iPhone and then wasted about 4 hours trying to get them to upload, and they would upload 40% or so and then just quit and say, oops, there's been an error. Yes, it actually says that, and you're like, oops, that's all you have to say after just wasting 4 hours of my life that I will never get back? So this isn't exactly how I'd prefer to be shooting these videos, but I do want to get them uploaded, especially because ordering your calendar is time sensitive. And I did say that I would be reviewing the calendars that I bought for this year. And here they are. Actually, it's a calendar, a date book, and a Sabbat almanac. These are all by Llewellyn Publishing. Now, am I totally 100% objective? Probably not, because I can already tell you I love these. I've been using them for years. Some people may find them a little too basic, and if you want like more advanced astrological information and stuff, then maybe these aren't the calendars for you. But if you just want sort of the basics and you want some enjoyable articles, recipes, ritual ideas, along with your calendar and date book, I always find these entertaining. I enjoy reading them, each month, reading the information regarding the season, any holidays that might be happening that month. And I just find them, I find my nose being tickled by purple hair. I find them to be, for me, perfectly user-friendly. Now, you might say, Denise, don't you keep most of your stuff on like your phone or your computer or your tablet or whatever? Yeah, things like appointments, doctor's appointments and such, absolutely I keep on there. But a lot of other stuff, more personal stuff, I tend to just write on good old pen and paper. You can look at the back and see the other beautiful artwork. Like I said, I get these almost every year. I've been buying them for well over a decade. And on the 1 or 2 occasions that I have not found them in time or waited too long and they were sold out, I was bummed that I had to use a regular calendar all year. So let me just show you some of the features that I like. Again, please forgive. I know I'm in the middle of major reorganizing. And with the whole COVID thing, yes, I am storing more stuff than usual in my house. And some of it just got shoved on the other side of my bedroom while I was not able to access the storage room in my hall. Strange story, because I attempted to grow winter squash in my hallway, which blocked my hallway and stopped me from getting to my storage room for about 2 months. So yeah, there's stuff in here that definitely needs to get moved over. I did finally harvest the couple winter squash that actually grew and ripped out the vines, so I'm now in a position to start moving stuff. And there's probably going to be a good amount of throwing away and or finding things to donate. So okay, each month, kind of like you'd expect, nice illustration, just some information, sort of about the, about the month, about the season, any holidays, any particular associations with that month. Like I said, it might be recipes, it might be an idea for a ritual, it might be, they have various authors who contribute to the articles, so it's not just one person's perspective that you're getting, and I kind of enjoy that. So you get that, and then you get your regular monthly calendar, which includes your new moons and full moons and daily color correspondences. And down there at the bottom, if I get a little closer, it shows you, like it sort of tells you the daily color correspondences, what they are. And then, like most calendars, you have the next month and the previous month there at the bottom, just for quick reference. So, yeah, this is a calendar that I buy every year as far as my wall calendar, and I love it. It suits my purposes perfectly. Its companion, the date book, you can see it's a spiral bound book. I like that you're not, bending a binding, that it's actually easy to flip the pages. Here it tells you, because each year they switch it up, who the sort of guest authors are, who are writing the articles that you'll be reading. So it just sort of tells you who's written some of the articles in here that you're going to be reading. And again, it has a nice table of it gives you, and again, these are features you would find in almost any date book. It gives you the year that the book is for, plus the following year, just a, small, just one-page calendar to help you plan ahead. It gives you a table of contents. It gives you some ideas in case you've never, worked with their type of book before. Kind of lets you know what their symbols mean so that when you see it on a given day, you know what it means. These are very, for people who are new to the craft, I find these very user-friendly. For people who, like me, maybe have been Wiccan or some other form of pagan or polytheistic practitioner who has kind of let their practice maybe not be as central to their life as it used to be, and it should be. Great way to get yourself back on track, because every day you're just kind of being reminded, hey, check in with the day. What's the color correspondence? Get in the habit of incorporating it into your day. Keep your eye out for when those full moon and new moon dates are coming up, while you get yourself back into the cycle of being attuned to that. Because I am one who is guilty of falling out of that when I let too much other stuff clutter up too much space in my mind, or when I let myself get too busy with other things. So, if nothing else, I find it very motivational to use a calendar like this that has a spiritual theme to it. And, you start out each month with an interesting article, like here, this is the beginning for January. Again, this is copyrighted. I don't want to be giving away their whole book. I just want to give you some ideas. But you start out the month with an article by one of those authors that it listed at the beginning. And then it's several pages long. Tells you a little bit about like the quarter and cross-quarter holidays, in case you're, again, in case you're a newbie who's just learning. I find these very, I guess maybe welcoming is a good way to put it. As a solitary practitioner, I loved books that did not assume I had knowledge that I didn't have yet. And now I've been a solitary practitioner for about 27, 28 years now. But for people who are just starting out, I do remember that frustration if you don't have a mentor and there's not a coven in your area that you can hook up with. I find it so great when you find a book that doesn't talk down to you or make you feel like you're not a real witch or real Wiccan unless you've undergone this particular ritual by a high priestess. Or, now I know it depends upon the particular tradition you follow, how you feel about those things, but as someone who was learning on their own as an individual practitioner, raised by Catholics, who did not have any pagan friends, as I got further in my studies, I realized I had a Buddhist friend. I had a friend who followed a Native American tradition. I found out that a coworker was in fact Wiccan, although he wore a Catholic cross because his girlfriend gave it to him, who did not know that he was Wiccan, and he didn't feel that she was ready to know that. Their relationship, I guess, was, not particularly serious, and he had once actually had some serious repercussions for letting his faith be known. So I understand people's reluctance to be out of the broom closet, especially, if you're in some sort of organization where people are not open-minded. So, maybe you don't want to be whipping this out. Maybe you just want to use a standard little date book or notebook to scribble things down in. And then when you're in private, you'd write it into a book like this or calendar like the one I showed you. But again, once we get past, again, super reading several articles, before we get into, all right, we start off each month with just a general, plan the month. If you have, for me, I use these kind of pages, block off a whole week of, say my son is on break from college. So I know that week we can maybe go plan to visit my mother. It's like my mother and my older son are their own quarantine bubble, and me and my younger son, 4 hours away, are our own quarantine bubble. So on his breaks from school, we like to go visit, or if it's, if I can't stay the whole time because of things I need to be taken care of at the house, at least I can bring him down and he can spend time with his brother and his friends down there. So, just sort of big things I'll use this monthly page for, but then it does go on to give you more space to write on individual pages, the weekly kind of page where you have space to write for each day. And again, it gives you the symbols that it explained at the beginning of the book. You'll see them on the edges here by the date on each page for each day. And it follows through like that. So interesting reading from different perspectives, from different authors, which to me, you're going to get stagnant if you just read the same author all the time. That's not to say that I don't have authors who I love and who I've read numerous books by them. The late Scott Cunningham, especially early in my learning, I read so much of his works, and Living Wicca was probably one of the first books that really spoke to me. Not so much about the magic and the spell work, but about the spiritual and religious aspects of Wicca. Now I realize there are witches who don't really focus on the religious spiritual aspect. They're more into the spell work and the magic end of things. And that's fine. I'm not here to judge anyone's practice, as I hope no one is here to judge mine. I think in a whole sort of group of religions that respect each other, we should respect each other's differences and learn from one another when we can. The only thing I really have no tolerance for is anyone preaching hate or putting down someone else's beliefs. So, and also let's remember, be kind to newbies. We were all a newbie once. And again, I like these books because you'll find stuff in there for everybody, but you'll also find explanations so that if you are a newbie or if you're trying to get by as a solitary without someone mentoring you into the craft, some of the Llewellyn books, not just the date books, but some of their other books as well, in my early years, I found very helpful. Now, this is something, again, every year you can pick up the 2021 here, Sabbat's almanac. And again, just information for your various holidays, ideas for the holidays, history about the holidays, craft ideas, different rituals you can incorporate in your celebrations, different spells that maybe you haven't tried, and I'm trying to see, does it list like contributors? It gives you a like a table of contents, so you can see it covers a lot of stuff over the course of the year. So I just find it also a good read. And over the winter, to me, while we're not busy out in the garden or spending time in nature, where I live, it routinely gets to minus 20 to minus 30 degrees Fahrenheit in the winter. It hurts your face to step outside the door. You're not going to go just taking a walk in nature. Even though the Adirondack Mountains are beautiful, in the summer they are a total tourist destination because of how naturally beautiful it is here. There's hiking, there's tons of lakes, there's Lake George, which is pretty well known as a tourist destination. Not far from here is Gore Mountain, so people do go there in the winter for skiing. Right over by me, though, I'm about a half hour from Gore Mountain, maybe a little less. Right in my particular area, not really a lot of winter stuff going on. So to me, winter is a great time to just sort of sit down with a good book, read some perspectives that maybe you haven't before. Like I said, especially if it's a new author, maybe you've never read anything by them before. It's a nice, thick book, plenty of nights of sitting and spending a few minutes reading. Because they say before you go to bed, it's always a good idea to turn off the screen, sort of unplug from your electronic, your phone, your computer, your tablet, anything that's going to beep, notify you, etc. And spend some quiet time, or maybe take a bath, read a little bit in the bathtub, whatever it is you do to unwind. I enjoy books like this for some of that kind of time. And again, especially when I've let myself get lax in my practice and I'm wanting to sort of just rejuvenate my soul and get back into spending some time doing some spiritually oriented reading every day. I find it great to have books like this around. So that is my review of the calendar, date book, and almanac that I purchased for this year. Again, please forgive that I'm having to use my computer to shoot the video, which is showing you my room, which is not exactly set up as a backdrop for videos, but I wanted to get this out in a timely manner, and this seems to be the only format that YouTube is letting me upload right now. So please like, subscribe, share with any like-minded folks you think might find this information useful, helpful, whether you decide that these are for you, or maybe by looking at them you decided they're not for you. Either way, hopefully I did you a service by showing them to you. Hit that notification bell so that when YouTube cooperates and lets me post, you'll know that I've put a new video up. And believe me, I am trying, and it has been trying these last couple days to get my videos up. So again, I like to always remember to say thank you for watching. There are a billion things you could be watching, and I never take for granted, and I always appreciate when people watch my videos. If you have any comments on what your favorite calendars or sort of those books that keep you in the, sort of spiritual headspace for some reading throughout the year, let me know in the comments what some of your favorites are, and I will, check them out. Maybe some of them are ones I've never heard of, checked out, looked at, and I would love to know. If you're also someone who uses these, I'd love to know. Anyway, have a great night, and blessed be.